I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
Carrie Underwood is making you look like a bunch of sissy boys.
Why did Carrie Underwood, America's sweetheart and country music icon, suddenly find herself in the middle of a national firestorm? Known for her grace, talent, and drama-free career, Carrie shocked fans and critics alike when she accepted a historic invitation that should have been a patriotic honor. Instead, it turned into a social media battleground. From calls for boycotts to accusations of normalizing a divisive figure, the backlash was swift and fierce. But was this outrage justified, or was it yet another example of cancel culture gone too far? Stick around as we unravel the controversy that put Carrie Underwood in the crosshairs, and the surprising way she came out stronger on the other side.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in the statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it, but lots of her fans are. So let's put this in perspective here.
Carrie Underwood's journey to stardom is the kind of story that inspires millions. She first captured America's heart as the small-town girl with the powerhouse voice on a little show called American Idol. Week after week, her performances left audiences speechless, and by the time she was crowned champion, it was clear a star was born. But Carrie wasn't just another reality TV success story. She quickly proved she had staying power. With chart-topping hits like Jesus, Take the Wheel, and Before He Cheats, she dominated the country music scene, earning Grammys, CMAs, and an army of loyal fans. What set Carrie apart wasn't just her voice, it was her character. While other artists found themselves caught up in scandals or controversies, Carrie stayed focused on her music and family. She was the picture of grace, avoiding feuds and media drama and letting her talent speak for itself. Fans admired her not just for her music, but for her authenticity. She became a symbol of class and professionalism, a rare gem in an industry often marked by headlines and spectacle. For years, she navigated her career without stepping into the muddy waters of politics or controversy. That's what made the events surrounding her performance at the presidential inauguration so shocking. How did this beloved artist, known for uniting fans with her music, suddenly become a polarizing figure overnight?
I personally hope we're moving beyond the era of politics where we want to cancel people's livelihoods because we don't like their politics. And whether it was the Dixie Chicks for criticizing George Bush, didn't agree with it then, and Carrie Underwood, if you have a problem, you register your complaint by not downloading her songs and not going to her shows.
Right.
But I also think from a business standpoint, it's not a bad decision for Carrie Underwood.
For most artists, performing at a presidential inauguration is a once-in-a-lifetime honor. It's a moment to stand on a national stage, share your voice, and celebrate the peaceful transfer of power, one of the cornerstones of democracy. When Carrie Underwood received that call, she didn't hesitate. In her official statement, Carrie expressed her excitement and pride, saying she hoped her performance could inspire unity in a divided nation. Her message was clear. This wasn't about politics, it was about coming together as Americans and looking toward the future. To Carrie, the invitation wasn't controversial, it was patriotic. She saw it as an opportunity to use her music to bring people together, just as she'd done throughout her career. For her, singing America the Beautiful wasn't a political endorsement, but a tribute to the country she loves. But not everyone saw it that way. In a time when tensions were running high, her decision was enough to ignite a firestorm. Critics quickly turned what should have been a moment of unity into a battle over loyalty and values. Little did Carrie know, her heartfelt decision would thrust her into a spotlight far brighter and harsher than she'd ever experienced.
75 million people voted for Trump. Artists tend to skew left-leaning, so she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it, so I get why she did it.
The moment Carrie Underwood announced she'd perform at the inauguration, the backlash began. Social media erupted with accusations, many claiming she was normalizing a divisive figure. Some fans felt betrayed, viewing her participation as a political statement rather than the patriotic gesture she intended. Calls to cancel Carrie spread like wildfire. Angry posts demanded refunds for concert tickets and vowed to boycott her music. Others labeled her a sellout, or worse, accusing her of aligning with a political agenda simply by stepping onto the stage. The outrage wasn't limited to fans. Prominent voices in in entertainment and media joined the pile on, fueling the fire. On platforms like The View, Carrie's decision was dissected and criticized, with some questioning her patriotism and others outright condemning her for siding with the wrong team. But the backlash wasn't universal. A wave of supporters emerged, applauding Carrie for her courage and independence. Many saw her performance as a bold statement against intimidation, a refusal to let politics dictate her career. For every critic demanding her cancellation, there seemed to be a new fan rallying behind her. What began as a performance meant to unify quickly turned into a polarizing moment, leaving Carrie caught in the middle of a cultural storm she never intended to spark. Yet, even as the criticism mounted, she remained silent, letting her actions and her music speak for themselves.
I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
A lot of my family voted for Trump. They love the country and vote for him. I think that people make these decisions for a lot of reasons.
Okay, fine. And I would not be the person to say don't do it, because I believe in free speech and everything about it. I personally would not do it. No one's asked me, but that's another story.
I would love for you to do a roast at the Trump inauguration. Yeah. Okay. Oh, no one else had any thought?
Amid the uproar, something unexpected happened. Carrie Underwood gained a new wave of supporters. For every angry post or call to cancel her, there was someone else praising her bravery. To these fans, Carrie wasn't just a country music star anymore. She was a symbol of resilience and authenticity in an increasingly divisive world. Many admired her for taking the stage despite the risks. While others in the entertainment industry stayed silent or avoided the controversy, Carrie stood firm, refusing to bow to the outrage. This authenticity struck a chord with fans who were tired of the constant noise of cancel culture. Social media became a battleground, but it also turned into a platform for her defenders. Messages of support poured in, with people commending her for being true to herself and not caving to public pressure. Finally, an artist with backbone. One tweet read, others declared their newfound loyalty, pledging to support her music and career more than ever. This new audience wasn't limited to country music fans. Carrie's decision resonated with people across political and cultural lines, many of whom respected her for prioritizing her values over the potential fallout. In their eyes, Carrie wasn't just a singer, she was a role model for staying true to oneself. While some were busy trying to tear her down, this new wave of supporters only strengthened Carrie's resolve and solidified her place as a beloved, if polarizing, figure. It was clear, for every door the backlash tried to close, Carrie had opened another one, inviting in fans who admired her unwavering independence.
Some are calling for her to be boycotted and canceled. John Rich weighed in, saying there are several top-tier country artists who support Trump, and I wish they'd finally have the balls to come forward and be counted. Ain't nothing outlaw about keeping your mouth shut to appease the record label. Carrie Underwood is making you look like a bunch of sissy boys.
If there was one place guaranteed to amplify the controversy, it was The View. Known for its polarizing debates, the show quickly latched onto Carrie Underwood's decision to perform at the inauguration, and the hosts didn't hold back. One host called her performance normalizing a convicted felon, despite no such conviction existing at the time. The rhetoric was intense, with accusations flying about how Carrie's decision undermined her love for her country. How can you love your country, one host questioned, and align yourself with someone who wants to tear it down? Others chimed in with their own takes. One co-host admitted she wouldn't have accepted the invitation herself, while another criticized Carrie for failing to consider how her actions might be perceived. The tone was emotional and accusatory, with little room for nuance or understanding of Carrie's intent. Interestingly, a few hosts attempted to strike a more balanced note, arguing that while they didn't agree with Carrie's decision, it was wrong to ruin someone's career over a political disagreement. But those voices were quickly drowned out by the louder, more passionate critics on the panel. The show's discussion sparked even more outrage online, with critics doubling down on their attacks. But it also highlighted the double standards at play. Many viewers pointed out that cancel culture's champions of free speech seemed more interested in shutting down someone they disagreed with than fostering a genuine dialogue. Carrie, meanwhile, stayed quiet. She didn't respond to the show's criticisms or engage in the public back and forth. Instead, she let her actions and her music speak for her. The media frenzy only added to the noise, but for Carrie's supporters, it became a clear example of how quickly people could turn against someone for stepping outside their expected role.
Words, help me out here. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber
Carrie Underwood's experience wasn't just about her performance at the inauguration, it became a spotlight on the double-edged sword of cancel culture. Critics were quick to pile on, demanding boycotts and labeling her a sellout. Yet their outrage revealed something deeper, a glaring hypocrisy in how society applies its so-called principles. The parallels to the Dixie Chicks scandal were impossible to ignore. Years ago, the country music group faced widespread backlash for criticizing a sitting president, and many of the same people who defended that backlash now found themselves outraged over Carrie's decision to perform. The shoe was on the other foot, and it revealed how easily free speech becomes a conditional concept depending on whose side you're on. Carrie's critics accused her of using her platform to promote division, yet their own actions, name-calling, boycotts, and public shaming, did more to foster division than her performance ever could. Instead of acknowledging her intent to promote unity, they framed her as a political pawn, refusing to see the nuance in her actions. At the same time, Carrie's defenders highlighted the hypocrisy of an industry that claims to celebrate freedom of expression while silencing those who don't fit its narrative. They pointed out how quickly some were willing to destroy a career over a single decision, all in the name of accountability. The debate also exposed how cancel culture often misses the mark. While critics demanded Carrie's downfall, her record sales remained strong, her concerts sold out, and her fan base grew. The outrage didn't achieve its intended goal. It only reinforced the perception that cancel culture is more about power than principles. Carrie's story became a case study in the pitfalls of outrage culture. It demonstrated how easy it is to weaponize morality against those who dare to step outside the lines, and how those same lines shift depending on who's drawing them. In the end, the hypocrisy of her critics only strengthened her resolve, and her connection with fans who valued authenticity over conformity. In the face of relentless backlash, Carrie Underwood chose a path few expected: silence. While critics raged and debates flared, Carrie stayed out of the fray, refusing to fan the flames. She didn't issue a fiery statement or engage in public battles. Instead, she let her actions and her music do the talking. Her resilience became her greatest strength. Despite calls for boycotts, Carrie's concerts continued to sell out. Her album stayed at the top of the charts, and her loyal fans stood by her side. Even as some turned their backs on her, others rushed in to show their support, proving that authenticity resonates more than conformity ever could. Carrie didn't just survive the controversy, she thrived. Her quiet confidence sent a powerful message. She wasn't going to let public opinion dictate her values or derail her career. By staying focused on what mattered, her music and her message, she demonstrated that you don't have to play into the chaos to come out on top. In the months that followed, it became clear that the outrage had little lasting impact on her success. The narrative shifted, the social media frenzy died down, and Carrie emerged stronger than ever. Her career remained intact, and her message of unity still rang true, long after the noise had faded. What sets Carrie's story apart is how she handled the storm with grace and determination. She didn't lash out at her critics or attempt to explain herself endlessly. Instead, she trusted her fans to see her for who she truly is, an artist who loves her country, values her craft, and stands firm in her beliefs. Carrie Underwood's resilience wasn't just a win for her, it was a reminder to everyone watching that staying true to yourself, even when it's unpopular, is the ultimate measure of strength. Her story proves that while controversy may come and go, authenticity stands the test of time. Carrie Underwood's journey through this controversy is a testament to the power of authenticity and resilience. What started as a simple decision to perform at a historic event spiraled into a storm of backlash, criticism, and heated debate. Yet through it all, Carrie remained true to herself. She refused to bend under pressure, choosing instead to focus on her music and the values that have guided her career from the very beginning. Her story is more than just a reflection of her own strength. It's a lesson for all of us. In a world where cancel culture often dominates, Carrie showed that staying grounded and standing firm in your beliefs can help you weather even the fiercest storms. The outrage may have been loud, but it was temporary. What endures is her talent, her grace, and her unwavering commitment to being herself. As the dust settled, one thing became clear. Carrie Underwood didn't need to prove anything to anyone. Her career continues to soar, her fans remain loyal, and she's still one of the most beloved voices in music. The controversy that was meant to tear her down only highlighted her strength and reminded everyone why she became a star in the first place. Carrie's story isn't just about surviving cancel culture, it's about thriving beyond it. And if there's one takeaway, it's this: when you stay true to who you are, no amount of noise can silence your success. Keep singing, Carrie. The world is still listening.